Welcome to this week's Energy Show. This week we're talking about new utility electric rates and how solar and storage will dramatically reduce your utility bills. Now, electric rates all over the US are continuing to go up. We have even more need for electricity as we replace old gas appliances with heat pumps and as we drive more miles with EVs. Now, the only solution to minimize your bills is to generate your own reliable power with solar and storage. Unfortunately, utilities and state governments are on the same page. They keep increasing rates. And unfortunately, we also have many blackouts and fires caused by utilities. So two things. It's important to plan for using more electricity, as we mentioned, it's inevitable, and plan for ways to keep that money in your pocket instead of writing bigger checks to your utility every single year. Now, all around the country, utilities have rigged electric rates to maximize their profits. The more profits utilities make, the more bonuses their executives receive. It's unregulated capitalism. I get it. Here's how utility rates work in California and many other states around the country. The red line on this picture is basically your home's power usage. You use a spike of power in the morning when people wake up, make their coffee, kind of maybe turn on the heater, the air conditioning. You don't use a lot of power midday when people go to work or go to school. And then you use more power in the evening when you heat or cool the house, you're cooking and things like that. Now, the solar generation is shown with the semicircle. The yellow section below the red line represents self-consumption. That's electricity that you use in your house. The green section above the red line is how much power you're selling back to the utility. Let's map your usage and generation to utility electric rates. Solar power is the cheapest way to generate electricity. Because utilities have so much of their own solar farm generation, it's no surprise that electric rates are lowest during the middle of the day when there's an abundance of power and highest in the evening. As a result, you're forced to sell your excess power back to the utilities when rates are lowest during the day and buy power from the utilities when rates are highest at night. Basically, you're buying high and selling low. The electricity game is rigged to benefit utilities, not consumers. Now, you can beat the utility game with a battery. Instead of selling power back at low rates during the day, you take that excess power and store it in your own battery. And then you can use that power in the late afternoon and evening when rates are highest. Plus, with a battery, you have backup power. When you have solar and batteries, here's how the energy flows in your house. Sun comes up in the morning, both solar power and utility power are feeding your house. During the day, your house is powered by solar only, and any excess power you have, instead of selling it back cheaply to the utility, you charge up your battery. When your battery is then fully charged, only then do you need to send power back to the grid. You get low credits, but it's better than nothing. In the afternoon, you're running on solar only because your battery is fully charged. And if it's not enough power, you can draw excess from your battery in the late afternoon when the sun starts going down. At night, obviously, no solar, that's when you use your own power in your battery instead of power from your utility when the rates are most expensive. At night, if the battery is discharged, that's when you use utility power, but that's also when power is cheapest. If there's a blackout at night, the battery still has reserve power for your essential appliances. California's new solar rates have variable credits depending on the month and the time of day. New solar rates in California are called the net billing tariff. Daytime credits are usually very low, averaging about a nickel a kilowatt hour when the sun is shining. And unfortunately, when you can generate the most credits during the day, that's when your solar power system's cranking, utilities force you to sell that power back at a very low price, a nickel. But there are several hours during the year in California when credits are very, very high. $2.54 a kilowatt hour from 6 to 7 p.m. in September, and $2.87 a kilowatt hour from 7 to 8 p.m. in September. So if you discharge your battery during these hours, basically 6 to 8 p.m. in September, you can make a lot of money. You can beat the utilities at their own game. You're storing your own energy when rates are low, and you use your own energy from your battery and sell back to the utility when rates are highest. For example, let's say you have a 20 kilowatt hour battery system, like the one I have in my home. Let's say you discharge just half of the batteries between 6 and 8 p.m., 10 kilowatt hours, at an average rate of $2.70 a kilowatt hour. You can make $27 a day, or $810 during the month of September. That's a lot of extra bread, dude. So to wrap up, electric rates are destined to increase rapidly. Plus, we're all using more electricity with EVs and electric appliances. The only way to save is either use less electricity or install solar. There are excellent paybacks with solar, typically 6 to 8 years. Paybacks with solar and a battery are about a year longer, typically 7 to 10 years, depending on the size of the battery. Batteries save you even more money because you can time shift your energy use. But batteries are expensive. But keep in mind, with a battery, you can also have power during blackouts, which are increasingly common throughout the US. That's all the time we have on this week's Energy Show. Thanks to all of our viewers for watching. If you missed any of today's show, you can always go to our website at energyshow.biz and listen to the podcasts.